to ask you, please stop with the chalk because we're responsible for cleaning this up. So please, without the chalk, no more chalk. Okay, now, to go on the march. Woo! To go on the march, we're going to be led by two people on bicycles. Let me introduce the first person. This guy is a rare bird. He is bicycling. Where are you? Where's he gone? Where's he disappeared to? Yeah, there, where are you? There you are. This kid is bicycling across Canada, raising money, and he will tell you his story, his name, and by the way, he wasn't planning to be here until he heard about this march. His name is Jamie Cortrielli. Jamie Cortrielli. Welcome. You tell your story, Jamie.
Hello. So great to be here. Recovery. We all have to give ourselves a pat on the back. Come on. Recovery, yeah. Now, I am 3.5 years clean and sober this year. Now, I used to be addicted to crack, crystal meth, and that all started when I was about 13 years old. Basically given no chance, and at 23 years old I decided to clean up my life. Going to a treatment center, dedicated myself to sobriety because you know what, sobriety has to have something better to offer than what I've already lived, right? With that being said, this year I decided that I would go on a ride across Canada to raise awareness about addictions, drugs and alcohol, because let's face it, drugs and alcohol, it affects our communities. It affects our families. It destroys our communities and our families. But most of all, it destroys ourselves, right? Right. So, I started my journey June 1st from Tofino, BC to ride across Canada every day, rain, thunderstorms, wind, it didn't matter what Mother Nature threw at me. I would ride. And I would go to every major city and talk to anybody that deals with high-risk or at-risk youth. I'd go to treatment centers and detox centers. I even went to Ottawa Justice Department to give them some education behind the addictions, to show them that, you know what, us in recovery, we can be employable. We can achieve our dreams. We can, we can achieve careers. We are individuals that, yes, we have a past that, yes, we had addictions, and today we have recovery. And with recovery, we have a new life, right? So with that being said, riding for mentors, cycling for change, aiming to break the cycle of addictions. That was my initiative across Canada. I just came back from St. John's, Newfoundland. And with that being said, you know, it's funny when I'm out there and I see other cyclists and they're like, wow, you're going across Canada? I can never do that. You know what I tell them? I'm an ex-crystal meth addict. I can do it, you can do it too. So with that, you know, hopes, dreams, careers, they are all achievable when we are in recovery. So, yeah, another 24. Yeah!
Okay, let me introduce our other bicycle rider, but first, a thanks to these lovely people who volunteered their services today, who are doing signing. I don't know the first thing about signing, but will you understand me when I say, I love you folks. You folks are amazing. Now, 40 years ago, this gal's father was a famous BC Lions football player and politician, and I was running a treatment center, and he was our guest speaker right there at the Hotel Vancouver. His name was Emery Barnes. He was an amazing guy. His daughter has continued in his legacy, continued in his footsteps. She is a member of the park board, one no S, the park board, and she's running for provincial office. She also arrived here by bicycle. She can explain how and why. And they're gonna lead the march, which I'll explain after we have a word or two from Constance Barnes.
Thank you, David. Welcome. I'd also like to introduce my daughter, Dylan Barnes. Yay. And I bring Dylan up because she's part of my story. And I'm close. I'm just over 3.5 years in recovery. Yeah. And I'm an Orchard alumni. And for those of you that would like a little bit more of my story, in this week's Metro, it's all there. And Felicia, who did an amazing job of this story, is here as well. I think one of the toughest things I'm going to say today is the part that is from my daughter, because it's alcohol, a mother's story, and alcohol, a daughter's story. What I want to say to folks out there, mothers, fathers, that are struggling with relationships that have been broken and scarred, and when you feel that guilt and you have that, just, I call it my cringe factor, it can be repaired. This is a perfect example of it can be repaired. You know, there's a lot of tough decisions when you are a mom and the disease has a hold of you. And one thing in recovery that I've learned is you've got to keep working a strong program. You've got to be honest. I am not in a position to not be honest because I got behind the wheel and blacked out and had a very serious accident. I'm lucky I didn't kill anybody, but I made a promise to get help. And what I also made a promise to do is to be honest about it. And being an elected official, I thought, okay, I can either hide it and go away and get help, or I can come out and be truthful and be honest and say I have a problem, I need to get help, and do the next best thing, and that's what I've done. So I think being, I hate the word politician, I like to consider myself an advocate. It gives me an opportunity to be honest and be truthful and say that this is a disease. This is the one and only disease out there, though, that keeps telling you you just don't have it. So, you know, any other disease, you go to the doctor and they say you got cancer, and you go, oh, and you say you got diabetes, you go, oh, and you got alcoholism, and you go, no, I don't. No, I don't. So I think my message is keep fighting the fight. Talk about it. Reach out. Let's educate people. Let's let people know this is a disease like no other disease. It will keep you down. We need to advocate to the government that we need funding. We need help. We need people to be able to get out there and support the programs for those who maybe can't get over to the orchards. We need people that are working these streets to be able to talk about their story, get the help from the provincial, municipal, and federal governments to help us with the disease, educate people about this disease, work on getting our families back together, and let's stick together in recovery. Thank you.
Okay, folks, here we go. Let's show the citizens of Vancouver some integrity, some dignity, and some self-respect. Jamie and Constance are going to lead the parade. By the way, you don't have to go on the parade. We'd love you to, but we'll have music here. Some of us will still be here. When we come back, we're having a major love-in, we're having a serenity prayer, and some very powerful stuff when we come back. We are going to march, not on the street, because we're not going to hold up traffic, but on the sidewalk. We'll follow Constance and Jamie, and we're going to go down Howe Street. We're going to circle the courthouse. Remember the courthouse? We're going to circle the courthouse, and we're going to come back up Hornby Street. Should take us about half an hour.